What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, we are talking about this idea of perfectionism and why done is better than perfect. Now, I just want to remind you guys that in the month of June, I'm giving away $1,000 cash. And if you guys want to win some money, if you guys want to win some dollar bills, if you want to be taking some 20s that I send you and go like this, $1,000, screenshot this podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at bmarkfit so that you can throw your money in the air like a rapper on a rap music video. All right. So I'm going to choose one person, send you $1,000 cash. All you need to do to enter, screenshot, share, tag at bmarkfit, and let me know that you're tuning into the podcast. I like giving back to my listeners, and this is my way of saying thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Okay, guys, let's talk about perfectionism. Perfectionism. Now, this episode is actually at the request of the head coaches inside of my academy, Jeff and Caleb. We're talking about how inside of the academy right now, a common theme that we're all seeing as head coaches is this idea of perfectionism, right? And when I say perfectionism, what I actually mean is this like my content has to be perfectly written before I post on social media. You know, I have to have the perfect picture with the perfect angle, and it has to be like on point before I can move forward. Perfectionism is also like a lot of online coaches won't even like pursue their online coaching business as in start signing clients and putting themselves out there because they have this idea that they need to be this perfect personal trainer before they can start accepting clients. Right. And I think that a lot of online trainers will also spend so much time building client programs, like hours and hours and hours of work on building your client programs, only to realize that like you literally wasted hours because it could have been done had you have just let it be good enough the first time. See, I think that a lot of online trainers are so focused on like trying to get it right the first time and trying to be perfect that we waste so many hours on one piece of content, maybe not even to get it right. How many of you guys have ever written a piece of content, online coaches? Like you wanted to write a piece of content, so you wrote this piece of content, and before you put it out there, you may have deleted it or just left it in draft because you thought it wasn't good enough. How many of you guys have ever gone to create a TikTok and you like start to create this video, you start to like put it together, and then all of a sudden at the last second, you decide that it's not good enough, you draft it and you don't post it? See, I think that so many of us are so focused on getting it perfect that we don't end up putting anything out there. And the truth is like, you're like, so many of you guys won't put the content out there because it's not good enough. And then instead of producing 5 pieces of content per week, you produce 1 piece of content per week. And because you're not putting yourself out there, you're not attracting any clients. And the reason you're not attracting any clients is because you have this like idea that it needs to be perfect before you can produce any sort of content. So you're writing posts and you're deleting them because they're just not good enough. And then you'll make a video. How many of you guys have ever made a video for your Instagram stories? You're like going to talk and then you say one word wrong and you're like, fuck, and then you delete it. Or like you go live. And then I know Cole Da Silva actually used to do this when he first started online training. He'd go live and then he'd say one thing wrong. He'd be like, fuck. And then he would like end the live stream and delete the live stream. And guys, all of this is a complete waste of time because all of the time that you guys spend making your videos and then deleting them, writing your posts and then not posting them, or creating that TikTok and not putting it out there, all that time that you spend not producing content because you're trying to be perfect is time that you're A, not serving clients, and B, not attracting them. And here's the truth. Here's the hard truth, because I think that you guys need to hear this. And this is important for everybody to understand, is that, people are not going to sign up with you if you're a perfect coach, because nobody's perfect, and so they won't be able to relate to you. People are not going to sign up with you if you're a perfect coach, because nobody's perfect and nobody can relate to perfect. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect, and because nobody's perfect, nobody can relate to perfect. So all of this time that you're trying to spend getting your shit perfect is actually a waste, because when you get it perfect, nobody's going to be able to relate to it because it's not authentic. Guys, in order for your online business to work, you have to understand that people need to relate to you, and people relate to authenticity. And so if you have this image and you have this perception of perfection and they can't see themselves in you because you're putting on this front of trying to be perfect, the chances of people wanting to work with you will be slim to none. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like, guys, the truth is, and here's the hard truth, right? As online fitness coaches, the hard truth is that even if you spend hours and hours and hours on working on a program, the truth is that it can always be improved. It can always get better. It can always evolve. And so even though we spend hours and hours trying to get this program perfect, the truth is it's never going to be perfect, because no matter what, no matter how good it is, something can always get better and something can always improve. And so you need to come to this realization that nobody's perfect and nothing is perfect. And if you're a coach that is on a fitness journey and you've got a few pounds to lose, that's okay, because nobody's fucking perfect. And putting out this perception that you need to be perfect is why you're holding yourselves back in your fitness journey and in your business journey. Guys, and let's talk about my coaching program, right? So right now, PT Domination, which is my coaching business, hosts a coaching program called the 10K Coaching Academy. And PT Domination, like the 10K Coaching Academy, was not even a thing at first. And when it started, like when PT Domination, the coaching program for online coaches actually started, it was far from perfect. And there were so many, there was like people that would slip through the cracks, and I felt like my service wasn't nearly as good as it was now. But in the last month, online coaches, we've helped another 10 coaches cross $10,000 a month. But that never would have been possible if I didn't at least start the process. Because PT Domination, yes, it didn't start out as a perfect program. And yes, it wasn't always as incredible as it is now, but we're always improving and we're always getting better and we're always evolving. And I'm always willing to improve based on the feedback that I'm getting from my coaches. And so PT Dom still isn't perfect. We're always improving and we're always getting better. But if I would have said to myself that, I needed to be perfect before I could progress, then I never would have gotten to the level that I'm currently at. And online coaches, my mantra is this. My mantra is that done is better than perfect. My mantra is that done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Perfect is a perception that isn't real. Perfect is a perception that isn't real, because no matter how good you get, you can always improve. Perfect is a perception that isn't real, because no matter how good you get, you can always improve. And so seeking perfection and striving for perfection before you move forward and you get started is the quickest way to get stuck at the level that you're currently at, because nobody can relate to perfect. And no matter how good you get, you can always get better. And so you'll never be perfect. And so understanding that you'll never be perfect is fucking everything. Like, you have to know that you're good enough as you are. You are good enough as you are. Your value is good enough as it is. And the goal with your online coaching business is to grow. The goal with your online coaching business is to reach. The goal with your online coaching business is to expand. And if every single time you expand, you look at your growth and you start judging yourself because you're not perfect, then you're always going to stay stuck at your current level. And as you're stretching and as you're reaching and as you're pushing for that next level, you can't be judging and criticizing your every move. You need to drop the judgment of yourself. You need to stop judging yourself. You need to start your online coaching business, no matter the level of experience, so that you can get better, so that you can progress, so that you can evolve. Right? And online coaches, it's so funny, because when I started my online coaching business, I had a personal trainer certification and that's it. I had a personal trainer certification and a passion for fitness. And I remember when I started my online coaching business, there were so many fucking people that had this negative things to say about my coaching business, because they were looking at me from their own flawed perception of themselves. And so I'd get these guys with PhDs and degrees telling me that I'm not qualified enough to be fucking coaching other people. Who the fuck are you sitting behind your desk, sitting behind your computer, commenting on my Instagram photos, telling me that I'm not good enough to be helping other people? Who are you to judge me? What made you better than me? And so I was I refused to judge myself, and I refused to let the opinions of others stop me from growing my coaching business. You need to stop judging yourself. You guys need to start creating and producing content and putting more content out there. Because if I wouldn't have started my online coaching business back when I did, then there's no possible way I'd be sitting here serving you guys with this information right now, because I'd probably still be criticizing myself, judging myself, and getting myself ready to start my online coaching business. But the truth is that you'll never fucking be ready. You'll never be ready. You can always improve. You can always evolve. You can always get better. And no matter how good you get, you'll never be perfect. And so you have to understand that done is always better than perfect. You need to start getting on sales calls. You need to start working on converting people into your program. You need to start working with people, because the actual way that you get better at online coaching is through experience. And the only way that you get experience is by getting fucking clients. You need to start studying. You need to start learning. You need to start creating programs for people to help them with their fitness goals, because you're not going to improve. You're not going to get better if you're just sitting there criticizing yourself, judging yourself, telling yourself that you're not good enough. Done is better than perfect. And I want to talk about judgment for a second, because I feel like perfectionism and judgment all fall hand in hand. I want to talk about judgment for a second. All right. How many of you have ever put yourself out there on social media, like written a post on social media and gotten judged by somebody else? How many of you guys have ever done that? You made a TikTok or you made a post on social media or you did a Facebook live stream and somebody commented on it, judging you, telling you that you're not good enough, telling you that this information is shit, telling you that blah, 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 telling you that you don't need to be posting this type of stuff on social media. How many of you guys have ever put yourself out there on social media and gotten judged by another human? Let me know if you have. Because I feel like, especially on TikTok is pretty savage, but I feel like the reason that some people are so afraid of putting themselves out there is because other people have a perception of themselves that they need to be perfect in order to serve. And so you write a post on social media about how macros work, and some fucking keyboard warrior thinks that he comments on your photo telling you that you're wrong and that you need to get educated, that you shouldn't be giving out this type of information and that keto is the only fucking way, or blah, 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 blah. Somebody with an opposing opinion is coming to your page and offering you an alternative perception when they're just judging you based on their own need to be perfect. And they think they're so qualified that they should be the one getting all the clients. And so when people start to see you putting yourself out there on social media, it's almost like people will judge you and they will criticize your content because he's viewing you with the same lens that he views themselves. And everybody thinks that they need to be perfect in order to serve, which is a flawed mindset. So like they're going to judge you because you're actually willing to put yourself out there before you're perfect. And so oftentimes we judge ourselves based off of other people's flawed perception that everything needs to be perfect. And here's my advice. We're talking about judgment now, all right? We're talking about perfectionism and how it manifests. So here's my advice for you. Number one is to drop the judgment of yourself and understand that no matter how much time you spend on a program, it's never going to be fucking perfect. And so you have to know when good enough is good enough, right? So that's number one, is drop the judgment of yourself. Stop criticizing yourself. Put the fucking video out there. Put the content out there. Start your coaching business. Start today. Get things moving. Like get into momentum. Like nothing happens if you stay in the same place other than you continue working at the same job in the same situation with the same income level. And if that's what you want to do, keep doing you. I'm talking to the people that want to fucking progress. All right. So step number one is to drop the judgment of yourself. Like you can't be judging yourself every single time that you grow. If you do, you'll constantly hold yourself back. Right. So stop the judgment of yourself, put the content out there, make the TikTok, get on the live stream, hire the mentor, like get shit moving. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is let's talk about judgment from others, because I feel like if we start to put ourselves out there, right, and we start to like progress and evolve and change and grow on social media, and we're not judging ourselves anymore, that's overcoming the first hurdle. The second hurdle is not letting the opinions of other people in. My advice is this: never listen to the opinion of a human you wouldn't trade places with. And so the next time you put a piece of content out there on social media and somebody comments on it, like look at their fucking page and be like, would I trade places with this person? And 99% of the time it would be fucking no. So be like, thanks. And then move the fuck on. If they're actually that big of like an a-hole, like I do this frequently. I don't have to do it as much anymore because I feel like I kind of roast them, but I used to get a lot of, I used to get a lot of comments on my live streams on Instagram. And when I get comments on my live streams that were savage, I would literally just block them on the live stream, because I'm not going to take advice from people that I wouldn't trade places with. And so there's no purpose to me listening to your opinion when it's like, for me, it's not valid. Like I don't give a fuck. And so most of the people that are commenting on your posts and judging you on social media, that's like the reason that a lot of people are afraid to put themselves out there, because they're afraid that their information isn't perfect enough. Guys, most of the people that are commenting on your social media are commenting from a flawed perception. They're commenting from this perception that you need to be perfect in order to serve. The flawed perception that like you're not good enough as you are, and that you need to go out and like be perfect before you can start helping other people. Guys, you need to say this fucking shit with me. Done is better than perfect. Write that down. Done is better than perfect. See, I'm so committed to the process of never ending improvement that I'm always getting better. I'm always evolving and I'm always progressing, and done is better than perfect. And so when I complete a project and I put it out there, I'm like happy enough with it as it is. And I'm also willing to improve it as I go. So if I put the project out there, like when I started the 10K Coaching Academy, it was different than it is now, because as the years progress and I evolve and I get better and I learn more information. And as I learn more information, I implement that in my business. But if I would have operated under this perception that like I needed to be perfect before I could help other people, then I would have gone to business school, and then I would have gotten a 4-year master's degree, and then I would have done this and this and this, and all the while not serving the fuck out of people like I'm serving now. Right now, we have 900 clients in the 10K Coaching Academy. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. And that wouldn't have happened if I had this perception that it needed to be perfect before I could get started. Do you guys understand what I'm saying to you? So how many of you guys have been holding yourselves back because you think that you're not good enough to start? How many of you guys have been holding yourselves back because you think that your content isn't good enough to post on TikTok, isn't good enough to go live, isn't good enough to post on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn? And so for me, I know that I have value to offer, and my life is value, and I view it as my responsibility to share the knowledge that I have with the people that are coming after me. And that's why I'm so consistent. And so for you online fitness coaches, here's another thing that I want to share with you guys, another insight. Because I think that a lot of online coaches judge themselves and hold themselves back from producing and helping other people. Here's another insight, right? Like you guys are thinking, the reason that you guys think you're not perfect is because you're comparing yourself to people that are like that graduated university, or people that are, have 1 million Instagram followers, or people that are, shredded beyond fucking belief, right? So we're comparing ourselves to these people. But like, you guys need to understand that like you're operating from a flawed lens. Like you're viewing the world from a flawed lens. Your online coaching business, people are going to hire you that relate to you. And the people that hire you are 8 steps behind you. Like the people that hire you, oftentimes the people that hire you don't understand why drinking water helps you lose weight. Oftentimes the people that hire you actually think that ketosis is good for you. Oftentimes the people that hire you are like completely uneducated when it comes to macronutrients, protein, carbs, fats, how much they should be training, how much, like oftentimes the people that are hiring you are completely uneducated on these things. And so you're comparing yourself to somebody that has 1 million Instagram followers and 3 PhDs. And that's why you're saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect. But what you need to understand is when you're creating content, you need to be creating content for the people that are steps behind you to bring them closer to you. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? And so if you know 3 more things than the person behind you, then it's your responsibility to share those 3 things with the person behind you to bring them to the next level with you. Like guys, if we're talking about social media growth and like progressing and evolving and getting better on these platforms, like I understand that I don't have 1 million Instagram followers. I don't have 1 million TikTok followers, but I have fucking enough to understand how to grow on social media. And so I'm going to help the people that are in my program come to that next level with me. You guys understand what I'm saying? Like I don't have 1 million TikTok followers as well, but I grew my following to 100,000. So you better believe I understand how to grow a TikTok following. So I'm going to share that information with the people that are interested in learning, right? So I'm so committed to the process of improving and helping other people that I'm going to share everything I know with the people that are in my network to help bring them to the next level with me. And through sharing that information, I know that there's going to be some people that want to work intimately with me in my coaching program so I can help them progress to the next level, because done is better than perfect. But if I would have said to myself, like, oh, like I don't have a degree in university, so like I can't be coaching other people, or, I'm not like, I don't have enough business experience. So like if I would have said these things, I never would have started my business. If I never would have started my business, I never would have been where I am right now. And like, guys, done is better than perfect. I promise you, like, I feel like I'm channeling Gary Vaynerchuk right now, because I don't judge myself. Like I just put my shit out there. And it took me a long time for me to internalize this mindset. And I wanted to share it with you guys in this podcast, because I think a lot of online coaches struggle with this. We struggle with judgment. Like we're constantly judging ourselves. Before we put out any piece of content, we're like, I don't know, like, fuck, like, I don't know about this, or I don't know about this, or like what this line doesn't sound right, or like, I don't know if I can post this, or I don't know if I should post this. Is this too much information? It's like, just put the content out there. Like the amount of time that I spend judging myself now is 0. It's like I just write the content and I post it. I don't even think about it. Don't you see, online fitness coach, that done is better than perfect? Don't you see, online fitness coach, that there will never be a right time to start your coaching business? Don't you see, online fitness coach, that your content will never be perfect no matter how good you think it is? Like your content isn't going to be perfect until you just decide that it's good enough. This is fucking good enough for me. Don't you see, online fitness coach, that the program that you're working on for that client will never be perfect, no matter how much time you spend on it? And so you need to understand that done is better than perfect. So I challenge you today to drop the judgment on yourself, to stop judging yourself and telling yourself that you're not ready, that your content isn't good enough, that you're not good enough to be on video, that your pictures aren't good enough to be on Instagram. And I challenge you to understand that you are good enough as you are, and that you don't need to be perfect to help other people, because people don't relate to perfect anyways. And so if you're trying to put this perception that you're perfect on social media, nobody's going to relate to you anyways, because people relate to authentic people. So I challenge you, online fitness coach, also to stop accepting the opinions of other people, because I really do feel like the reason that a lot of you guys aren't starting your coaching businesses is because you're afraid of what the trainer at the gym is going to say that has 6 more years of experience as you. Who gives a fuck? Including your friends and family, dude. Like, my friends and family like cast shade on my shit. Like, I like remove them from my life. I have like goals, dreams, and ambitions. And if like you're gonna cast shade on my dreams because of your flawed perception, like, I'm gonna fucking put a big wall up, and I'm not gonna accept your opinion in my life anymore. Guys, you need to be so committed to your own success that you drop the judgment of yourself and you just put yourself out there. And you need to be so committed to your success that you also don't accept the opinions of others unless they're helping you build your dream. Done is better than perfect. Get your business started. Make the TikTok video. Book the phone call. Sign the client before you're ready. Do the program. Make it as good as you possibly can with understanding that it will never be perfect. Online fitness coach, the message for the day is that done is better than perfect. So get yourself out there, start your business, write the post, sign the client. I fucking believe in you. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you got value from today's episode and you want to win $1,000, all you need to do, screenshot any podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit, let me know that you're tuning in. And just by doing that, I'm entering you to win $1,000 cash. Peace, love, protein, guys. Have the best day of your entire life, and I'll talk to you soon. Let's go.